Hello everyone. I get lots of questions on how to make the mini books. People are asking me how I make them, how I bind them, what materials I use. So I thought I would start out by just showing the supplies that I use. Just very basic supplies. I'm not going to get into the punches and the dies and all the extras that I use. I'm just going to cover the bare minimum that I use for all my books. So to get started, first thing you need, chipboard, or I'm sorry, cardstock. This is basic cardstock, nothing fancy. I either use the craft color, the black, or the white. Every once in a while, I will use a printed one-sided printed cardstock, but I usually save these for the smaller books, or I will double them up and usually hide all the white. But for this one, I kind of wanted to leave white space for journaling and such. So, but that'll be covered another time. For supplies, I use a pad of paper, just one-sided. It's okay paper. It's not real heavy, but it's not real thin and see-through either. It's a decent weight. It doesn't say what the weight is. It is by Paper Studio. I usually get the cardstock and the paper from Hobby Lobby. We don't have a Michaels. It's kind of far away. Hobby Lobby is closer, so generally all my supplies come from Hobby Lobby. I usually get the paper, stock up. They're both Paper Studio. I usually stock up when they're 50% off. For the covers, I either go with packaging, which is very simple. I just cut it up and get the sizes that I need. Or I buy chipboard in this form. But this chipboard I generally use for other projects. Usually I use this. This is on occasion. I usually get it on sale, or I usually buy the 8.5 by 11 or the 12 by 12. It depends on what I find, what's on sale. I don't buy the black or the colors because they're generally more expensive and they get covered up by paper anyway. So generally, this is what I use. It is, let's see, 25 sheets for like $8, I think. I'm not real sure on the price for this, but generally I buy it when it's on sale. I don't pay full price, so I generally just keep my eye out at various places. I don't have one certain site that I buy from. I check out all kinds of different sites, and when I see it go on sale, I get a couple of them. Usually 2 packs will last me 6 months to a year, depending on how many projects I do. This is what my go-to. My family likes pizza rolls for snacks, so we have these usually. I usually get one every few weeks. It's nice thick chipboard. So generally for chipboard, this is my go-to brand, and this is my second for books. But these two are my go-tos. These ones, like I said, I make other projects with, which will come up in other tutorials later. You can see that they're kind of a heavier weight. They're nice and thick. Yeah, anyway, let's go to the next thing. Let's go scoreboard. Scoreboard. I generally use this for all my scoring. I love this. 12 by 12, they make a smaller one, but I wouldn't recommend it because generally for books I use the 12 by 12 sheets, and I can score anywhere. Does a wonderful job. And then I turn it over. I take my bone folder, and it leaves a nice crisp corner with no cracking. And that's generally, some people, they will score it and then fold up on the score. I like to flip it, like I said, I like to flip it over and then fold it, and then take my bone folder and really crease it, which leads me to the next thing. Bone folder. Bone folder is a must-have. This is my go-to one. I have several of them. I have them laying around everywhere. This one I'm not too fond of because it's kind of pointy, and if I accidentally push too hard, it will start to rip the paper. So it's pretty and I love how it looks, but it's not as good. Where with this one, I can press as hard as I can and it does not rip. There's no problems. All I get is that nice clean fold. So this one's good and it's pretty, but it's not my favorite. This also comes with a bone folder, which I don't even have right now. And I don't like it because I have the same problem with this one. They are both Martha Stewart brands, and I'm not real crazy about them. This one I picked up off of, I believe, Amazon. It was $4 or $5. There is a couple other ones that are higher priced that I would like to check out. One that has a very flat edge right here to really fold the crease. But generally I just use the side, and it's not that big of a deal. So for like $5-6, you know, it works. It does the job, and it works out great. Next thing, trimmers. I have these two trimmers. Okay, this one is the one I had first. I like it. It does a great cut. I can see exactly where it's going to cut with this arm. I know exactly. There's no guessing. I know exactly how it's going to cut and where it's going to cut. However, this only goes to 4 1/4. So that drove me nuts. I was constantly trying to get the arm out, and when I have everything spread out on my desk and I'm doing this stuff, I have to clear out a great big space, just like I do now, for this to lay evenly to get my measurement. And that kind of drove me nuts because generally the biggest marks that I use is between the 4 and the 6, and that's right where that fold is, and it drives me crazy. So I got this. Now this one I generally use for paper. This one can also be used for scoring. There's a nice groove right there, so I can line it up and I can take it straight down that groove and I get a nice score right there. Okay, so if you can't get a scoreboard, I would suggest a trimmer that you can use as a scoreboard as well. This one works great. However, if you are going to cut any chipboard with it, I would suggest getting a blade just for chipboard. This one, I have 2 blades. This one is for chipboard. This one is for cardstock and paper. Chipboard will tear your blades up faster than anything else. So I dedicated this trimmer right here just for chipboard. Every so often I will cut other things with it, but for the most part I go to this one unless it's chipboard. Generally, a couple rulers. I don't know where my T square ruler went. It was somewhere around here. I like this because I get a nice square edge when I need it. I don't use it a whole lot, but it's nice to have when I need it. If I am trying to get in there and get a nice good squared edge, I will use it. Not necessarily needed. Same thing with the ruler. If you have a trimmer that has a ruler on it, you can use that. I like this one because it is a zero ruler that you can measure from the center and find that exact center of your page. The 0 is right in the center. I also like it because there is, I don't know if you can see it, there is a metal edge. The metal edge comes in handy with an X-Acto knife, so you're not cutting into the plastic with your X-Acto knife, and you get a nice smooth edge when you're trying to cut. Where if you're using plastic, sometimes it'll cut into that plastic and then kind of mess up the edge of your ruler. So this one is awesome. If you don't have trimmers or anything, just the standard blade and a ruler. I would actually go with this ruler. If you can find a T-ruler with a metal blade, or this in metal so it's not cutting into the plastic, that would be great. But, you know, standard supplies, if you have nothing else, these two will work. Pencil, just for marking your measurements and stuff. That's always needed. Adhesives. I use adhesives. I have adhesives everywhere. I use glue. I use dry adhesives. I use wet adhesives. I use it all. However, for my books, these are my go-to. These are the two that I will use over and over again. I use these for my pages. I use them for the binding. I use them for everything. I know that they will not fall apart. Generally, when you have a dry adhesive, like a tape runner or something, over time, it tends to get worn off. Or not worn off. It tends to wear out, get dried up, and it won't adhere as good. I have not used score tape and them other adhesives long enough to know how long they will actually hold up. And when I make my books, I want them to be passed down. I don't want something that'll only last a few years and then start to fall apart. So basically, I use wet adhesives for everything. I have a couple other books here. I use my wet adhesives because I know that the edges where the pockets are at, they are not going to dry up and start falling apart later. I know the extra decals that I add are not going to come off later. Where if I use score tape, I don't know how long that's going to last. So I prefer to use this over anything else. I actually prefer the clear over this, but they both dry clear and they both work as good. I just like this one because it sits upside down and the glue is ready to go. Where this one I kind of have to shake it and really get it to work it out. So this is my #1 go-to. But in general, the Aleene's Tacky Glue is wonderful. As far as everything else goes, I think that's about it. That's all I generally use on a regular basis as far as bare minimum supplies. In the next couple videos, I will get to how to make these easy little books. They are just 12 by 12 sheets folded all up and made into a cute little book. I will explain the binding and how to get things done. So if you would like to see those, subscribe so you will get a notification on when those videos come out. Like my page, give me some comments, subscribe, let me know, or please comment and let me know what you would like to know as far as these books go, how I can improve, or you know, whatever the comments may be. Just let me know. You know, I would like to know what your thoughts are and what you're thinking. So give me a like, give me a thumbs up, or yeah, give me a like, hit subscribe, and you'll get your notification. I'll see you until next time. I'll see ya.